Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny Tunes. It's Destiny here. So if you've ever seen the Proud family, then you know that Penny Proud can either be a very likable or very unlikable character. And I get that she's a growing girl with a growing mind, meaning that there's going to be many different hiccups in her coming of age story. I mean, even adults don't get it right every time. But the amount of bad choices this character makes walks the line of immaturity and flat out train wreck. One of the biggest issues that Penny has is her inability to understand just how much she takes for granted, especially when we see her roped up in the same problems, leaving me to question whether or not this character ever truly learns from her mistakes. We've all heard the phrase, "the grass is greener on the other side," and even songs like "Love Yours" that try to open our eyes to the fact that although things may seem better than what we have in theory, rarely does it ever mean that it's actually any better and that we should appreciate what we have. This is a lesson that the series has tried to teach Penny not once, not twice, but 3 times throughout the Proud family and the reboot Louder and Prouder with the use of the character Al Roker. Now you might be thinking, Al Roker? Isn't that the weatherman from the Today Show? And you would be correct. Now the Proud family is known for having cameos of well-known actors, artists, and TV personalities like Mariah Carey, Alicia Keys, Lizzo, etc. So having Al Roker on the show isn't necessarily a weird thing, but it's the kind of character he plays that makes it kinda Now, Al Roker is first introduced in the episode titled Tweentown, where he opens up a teen club in Penny's town. Now, this isn't bad or anything like that, but his role in this episode goes from not bad to something far more sinister, so let's explore this episode a little further. In the episode Tweentown, Penny and her friends are trying their best to sneak into a nightclub, and although they are successful in sneaking out, they do end up getting caught by Penny's parents and are embarrassed in front of everyone. Back at home, Penny is grounded and made to do chores all around the house for 1, sneaking out, and 2, lying to her parents. Personally, I feel like this was a reasonable punishment for her actions, but Penny, being a kid, found it to be too harsh and she ends up lashing out about it in her room. Not wanting to face the consequences of her actions, Penny secretly wishes that all of the adults would just disappear, not knowing that she was being listened to. Soon after the wish, no other than Al Roker appears on her TV claiming that he could make her dream a reality. Now, this is a character that started off as the owner of a club, but we find out that he turns out to be something like a genie, minus the 3 wishes and living in a lamp, that is. Al Roker tries his best to get Penny to fulfill this wish, and we even see that he gets aggressive with a very deep, scary voice and red eyes when he doesn't get his way. Now, this is only the beginning of the darker side of this character. Penny finally decides to make the wish, but not without having to sign a hefty contract that Penny doesn't even try to read beforehand, but will end up being a problem later in the episode. So after her wish for all of the adults to disappear, the kids of the town are happy with their new freedom, but all the partying would be short-lived because it wouldn't be that long after the wish is made that they are in full-blown tears because they miss their parents. The thing about not reading contracts is you don't know exactly how the wish itself works, meaning you can't just wish your parents back because you miss them. Penny tries asking Al Roker for everyone's parents back, but he tells her that her parents, along with everyone else's parents, now belong to him, which is actually so insane to me because the idea that Penny literally signed over her parents' lives to an entity on her computer screen, it just feels so dark and twisted. And to make matters worse, not only do the parents belong to Al Roker, but he's using them for slave labor. Now, Al Roker, although obviously evil, does offer Penny an opportunity to win her parents' freedom back by beating him in any sort of contest, with the additional consequences of having to give up her brother and sister if she loses to him. Now, I don't even think that it's necessarily a nice thing that he's doing, considering the fact that Al Roker can pretty much alter the situation in his favor, meaning that no one will ever win these quote-unquote contests. Now, fortunately for the characters in this series, there is a solution to the problem in the contract that Penny didn't read, of course. If there are any adults left after the wish is made, everything will be reversed, and since he has a childlike heart, her Uncle Bobby wasn't taken along with the other adults. Now, if you're anything like me, you might be looking at a situation like this and thinking to yourself, how on earth do you know that someone literally took your parents and forced them into slave labor, yet you still end up interacting with this person, quote unquote person, multiple times in the future? Again, there are a lot of things about this show, about this character, that I don't understand, but I mean, let's carry on. And now this time I understand Penny's frustration because this is already the second weekend she is expected to give up on her plans to take care of her siblings, which isn't exactly fair in my opinion, considering the fact that those aren't her kids, you know, whatever. The words Al Roker uses to describe the person that he's working for also start to get darker and darker with time, which really leaves me thinking that he could potentially be working for the devil. In this episode, when talking about his boss, he says, "the powers that be." And if you aren't familiar with this phrase, what it usually is used for is to describe someone who leads or is in a position of power with dark or evil implications. Now, I'm not an expert at these sort of things, but it definitely feels like this character is meant to be something demonic, or at least working for something that is not of this world. One thing that I will say is that in this episode, Penny truly didn't mean for her wish to come true, but at the same time, she also didn't really seem to mind that her siblings were being turned into tweens, as long as it meant that she got to escape her responsibilities. And unfortunately, this is one of the downsides of this character. She honestly doesn't seem to care about any of the choices that she makes as long as they don't affect her in any way. It's her selfish way of thinking that constantly lands her in these crazy scenarios where others' lives are altered in a negative way. Keep moving on. Now, the most recent appearance of the Al Roker character is in the Proud Family reboot Louder and Prouder episode titled When You Wish Upon a Roker, and it's pretty much the same formula that we've seen before. Penny wants freedom from her parents, and I'm guessing that Al Roker can just sense angry children, because as Penny is sulking in her room, he appears ready to grant her another wish. Now, ignoring what I said before, you'd think that maybe after all this time Penny would have learned to stop messing around with this trickster, but no. Quickly after calling him out for scamming her in the past, she is tempted, like quickly tempted, by his offer to grant her yet another wish of changing her life drastically. As I mentioned before, this character gets darker and darker each time we see him on the screen. In this episode, when Al Roker refers to his employer, he flat out calls him the man downstairs, which confirms everything that I was thinking before. Al Roker works for the devil, tricking vulnerable children with these wishes, knowing that they won't read these contracts, leaving them and their families trapped in these situations. Not to mention, the design for Al Roker feels creepier in the reboot, almost like they wanted to hone in on the darkness of this character, and I will say that they succeeded in continuously making this character a little more evil with every altercation. This time around, Penny avoids reading the contract yet again, and the only information that she's given about this wish is that she has a week to reverse it. Now, Penny is convinced that being a grown-up is the answer to all of her problems, so she wishes that she was a college student. As if college life doesn't come with a whole new set of responsibilities. Penny is a character who would rather run away from her consequences though, and responsibilities, even if it means wishing her family away, turning her toddler-age siblings into tweens, or from what we see in this episode, turning herself older. Now, since there is a contract involved with this wish, there are more layers to the situation that Penny is in. After all of her friends decide that they don't really like being grown up, they return home after their trial week is up. But with Penny, she's too caught up in partying and avoiding her college responsibilities that she convinces herself that college is better than going back home, so she purposely stays past the 7 days and quickly learns that all of her slacking will catch up to her. After ending up broken alone, Penny wants to go back home. of course, but Al Roker would never make it that easy for her. He says that in order for her to go back home, she has to pay off her debt. I don't remember how much it was, but it was a lot. And if she doesn't, she'll be stuck in this timeline, forced to sell things like mixtapes and DVDs. So again, the idea of holding possession over someone's life, their freedom, and things like that is explored again with this character. And by this point, it truly feels like Penny is repeatedly making deals with the devil. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that these are all important lessons, don't lie to your parents, accept your responsibilities, appreciate your youth, and know that your parents make certain decisions because they're trying to protect you from the things that you aren't even aware of. Like, I get it, I understand it, but it doesn't change the fact that this Al Roker character just feels so off to me. Like, I truly wonder how the actual Al Roker feels about his likeness being used to represent a character who lurks around children waiting to prey on their anger and disappointment, only to end up tricking them to serve the demonic leader. Like, huh? Again, if we had an episode where Penny actually refuses this character's offers and told somebody, I feel like we could have maybe turned these episodes into something bigger than what they actually are, because I refuse to believe that they will continue to make like Penny this dense. Like, if we have another Al Roker episode, I truly just will not be able to defend this character, because of what? Like, girl, how many times do you have to end up in these circumstances where you either sell your family, yourself, or like, no. What else is there to give away to this entity? Now, I want to wrap this video up by saying that I'm not a religious person at all. Like, I don't even think that the devil itself is real, but I understand what it's meant to represent, and I truly don't get why this is the route that they went in, because one, the idea of a child essentially selling souls to the devil's henchmen seems way too dark and twisted for a kid's show, and two, if it's supposed to have like religious implications, why are we including fear-mongering in a kids show? Like, keep it away from the kids, because there are so many other ways that you could go about teaching these lessons without literal children being in debt to the devil. But I don't know. I just knew that there was something off about these Al Roker episodes even when I was a kid, and watching them as an adult, it isn't hard to see that they gradually get darker as time progresses, and I really hope that they get rid of this character altogether, and that the newest episode in the reboot, including this character, is the final straw, and that we can all now move away from this situation, considering the fact that Penny's parent is or was involved in the situation. Like, can we talk about stranger danger? Can we talk about like not making wishes to random people with life-altering like decisions? I don't know. But let me know what you think about all of these episodes in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, let me know that you did by leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video in the future. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!